Okay, now I need to ask you this question. I know that your mission is to spread the second coming of Jesus, as you said earlier, but you have not been hindered only by ordinary people, but also by people who attend the very Marian places. Yes, I've even found the greatest hindrances right in the people who attend places of apparitions. And this has always struck me. Let me explain you. I had written some prophecies on some sheets. They were listed and they ended with the second coming of Jesus, which will come back to judge the living and the dead and establish his kingdom of peace here on earth. I translated these sheets in several languages, in English, French, German, Spanish, and Portuguese, with the Google Translator because I don't know other languages. And the translation was not accurate nor faithful, but at a later time some people helped me to perfect this translation. I went to Lourdes in a bus with pilgrims. I was in Lourdes, inside the fence, where there is the shrine, the water, and the various structures. I was handing over these sheets. Security came in and started to yell at me. They were speaking in French, but I understood very well. They were saying, "We'll call the police, give us those sheets." But, I had been working so long, I had paid for printing them. So I said, "Okay, it's all right." And I walked out of the fence. There were so many youngsters because on that day there was the Synod of Youth, and I didn't even know it. It was a coincidence. So I was delivering these sheets. After a while, I've seen that the catechists, the guides, in other words, the representatives, started glowering at me. And then they told me, "Who told you to spread these sheets? You cannot say that. Still, everything in my sheets matches the gospel. You cannot say that." Of course, I kept on handing them out. But after a little while, I have noticed that the boys were harsh staring at me, and someone told me, "Stay away from us, go away," and also not politely, so to speak, in a robust manner. Let's put it like that, yes. I went to Medjugorje and have translated these sheets into 12 languages, so just think about all of the hours and hours of work, of course. 12 languages, because as you know, people from all over the world go there. I was in a courtyard in Medjugorje. It was full of buses from Poland, France, Spain, Switzerland, from all over Europe. There were hundreds and hundreds of people, and I was busy handing out my sheets. Then a lady came to me. I think she was from Naples, judging from her accent, and she started yelling at me, but she was really screaming on top of her lungs. "This guy is doing magic, he's confusing the people. No one knows when the end of the world will come." And of course, keeping calm, I showed her this sheet and I told her, "Well, they are right that it's the end of the world." And she couldn't reply because I had not written that it's the end of the world. But the hundreds of other people watching this took me for a thief, for a kind of conman, and they began to say, "You are just campaigning." They were angrily handing me back the sheets I had just given them. And still, there in Medjugorje, I was meeting people who stopped me to tell me, "Stop delivering these sheets. We are going to call the police." They were threatening me, but of course I just kept going. Still in Medjugorje, I went to the Youth Day because there are young people from all over the world, so I thought I couldn't miss this opportunity. I was inside the perimeter where there is that famous church, well known to all, and other buildings. Two guards came and stopped me. They brought me to a small room. There were two ladies who were kind anyway and asked me, "What are you doing?" I replied, "I am spreading these sheets of Marian prophecies." They read them and they told me, "You cannot spread them anymore." Of course, I disobeyed and kept spreading them without being seen by the guards. But I kept going on. It goes without saying. I've even met fierce guys. A Syrian boy. As I told you, there were people from all over the world. So a Syrian boy approached me with the sheets I had just handed him out, and he tore them apart in my face just like that. That's nothing. So he tore it apart in my face. It takes a lot of patience. Some Spanish guys were also agitated and nervous, and they asked me, "Who's paying you to do all of this? Who's paid for all these shits?" And I answered, "I did. I paid." Then they told me, a few words in Spanish and a few ones in English. I understood something, and they told me, "Listen, with all of the theologists out there, in your opinion, if what you have written is true, wouldn't they warn us?" And I told them, "No, nope, I'm doing it precisely because they are not doing what they are supposed to do. For goodness sake, I don't want to criticize anyone, but this is the truth." Some Swedish guys told me, "Do you wish all of this to happen?" And I replied, "No, I don't want it to happen. I'm just warning you because no one is doing it, and things are going quite badly." Then, in Medjugorje, some messages arrived which said, "These are the last times of Satan." I mean, Medjugorje, Our Lady told Miriana, "I'm preparing you for the return of Jesus." In Medjugorje. So the people going to Medjugorje shouldn't criticize me if I spread sheets saying that there will be 3 days of darkness, the warning, the return of Jesus, and that we are living the times of Revelation. So the biggest obstacle came from people devoted to Our Lady. Why? Because people judge without going into stuff, without knowing. More, it has always been said that Virgin Mary appears in order to bring us to conversion, to peace, to pray. So, saying that Our Lady appears only to bring us to conversion, to peace, and to prayers has become a common practice. But it's not like that. I'm proving it in my encounters, and she's asking for much more. Besides, I'll read you this message. Giampilieri, Apparition, Sicily, 2001. They are the blind, those who don't want to see, who protest against the messages, because there is not benefit in listening to them. Very clear. It's not comfortable to tell someone that we are living the times of Revelation, described by John, because he looks at you the wrong way. On the contrary, if I approach someone and tell him, Our Lady announces prayers and says that we must convert, no one will look at me the wrong way. So people tend to dodge discomfort. Instead, I invite everyone to take the narrow street, to break this barrier. Let's announce the truth. Let's announce the second coming of Jesus, whatever the cost. By the way, I noticed that Holy Mary has chosen you, judging from the stories you told us last time. She has chosen you precisely for your peculiar features of yours. I mean the guy who's a little unruly, but she has clearly noticed that you are also a determined and tough guy. Because, as you can see, you have handled very well these situations more than once, even in front of priests, as I remember from last time. I mean, you stood firm, so you see, she's made a precise and perfect choice. Congratulations to her who has chosen you, and to you who keeps going in spite of everything. Many, many congratulations. I thank you, my friend, but anyway, with what I have found out in these messages, trust me, that I'm just doing what is right. No, you are doing exactly what you were born for. Evidently, it's your destiny. I am glad and appreciate that.